Stay tuned for the forum. Welcome back to the forum. I'm with my guest today, Cheryl Lindsell-Roberts from Cheryl Lindsell-Roberts and Associates, and Bill Bowman from SendTrend, an IT expert. And we're going to have a little discussion right now, and we're going to discuss the concepts of email. Now, Cheryl and I have had some conversation about this, and we could get heated over the next 9 minutes here. But when it comes to sending an email, that subject line is something that I think is very important. And one of the things that irritates me is, one, when somebody sends me an email and they don't bother to put a subject line in it. I can't stand that. And two, I don't like when somebody sends me update. That's the only thing it says. It says something that is very generic. Because for me, a lot of the times I find that we end up having a conversation over the span of a day or a couple of days where we're trying to get something done, for example, getting prepared for the show. And I get a lot of email. So when you have to search to find where they all came from, it's very helpful for me when I have that subject line the same, because then I can sort by that subject name. How do you guys feel about email?
Subject line is my pet peeve when it comes to email. It's absolutely critical that you prepare a subject line that reflects your message. How many times have you gotten a subject line that says meeting? Well, what about the meeting? Is it being postponed? Is it being rescheduled? Rather than saying meeting, how about rescheduling April 26th meeting to May 3rd? Right in the subject line. Another thing about a subject line that people don't stop and think about, when you reply to someone's message, always change the subject line. I had an appointment to meet with 6 colleagues last week. And we were supposed to meet at 9 o'clock in the morning, and one of the gentlemen sent an email out asking if we could all make it at 8:30. He had to leave a little earlier. So I sent back an email message, and my subject line said, 8:30 works for me. Someone else sent back a subject line that said, 8:30 works for me. So we assumed everybody was in accord because everybody weighed in. One person never showed up for the meeting, and to make a long story short, she just clicked on my reply, and in the body of her message, she wrote, she couldn't make the meeting. But her subject line said 8:30 worked for her.
Right.
She never stopped to make sure that her subject line reflected her message to the readers.
Well, that's funny that you say that, though, too, because sometimes I get irritated when people actually don't read my email. So I took the time to send you an email, but you didn't read it. So then all of a sudden, my phone's ringing, hey, blah, 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 and I'm going, did you read my email? Yeah. How about you, Bill?
Yeah, well, I'm with you on the subject. There has to be a subject. I mean, if I get an email that doesn't have a subject, that kind of bugs me. But I also agree with you. You have to change the subject line when you respond. If the subject is the message, then you got to change the message if you're responding to it. But also, on the other hand, when you talk about sorting messages, when you're looking through your messages that you want to look back and see something, it's always good also to have that original subject there as a reply, so that you can see, that the person responded to you on that, whatever that subject was.
And they filter together, so that they filter together.
Yeah.
So maybe we need to come up with a consensus here, that what we need to do is have something at the beginning that holds that original email, so that everything stays together, but then go ahead, expand from there, I guess.
Exactly. So you create a continuity.
Yeah, some kind of continuity.
And that way when you're sorting,
right.
If you're looking for a message and everything says update, 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 and you're looking for a particular update, you have to open each message to look for the update that you're trying to find.
That matters.
If someone put even update colon and then put the message, what are you updating?
I should add, though, that we can, using email technology, if you're using, like, for example, Microsoft Outlook, you can sort your messages by thread.
Right.
So you could actually do it that way.
Right.
Regardless of what the subject says, it would look at all the messages that went back and forth on that same.
Right.
So
thread.
it doesn't have anything to do with the actual subject line?
Yeah, it'll be for going, if you replied to a message, it will know that.
Oh, and it holds them all together.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then Cheryl's method of changing that subject line, so long as everybody, if you stay within that,
Yeah.
because I also have people that it's like they truncate out all of the communication that we've had, and then they just send, their reply, period. There's nothing else underneath it.
Right.
Does that affect it? How? Do you know how the technology works?
I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying.
So if with that concept of keeping the thread going alive, if I deleted the last 5 communications in my reply to you, so I just copied it and then or highlighted it and then delete, does that affect?
Yeah, because if you if you deleted them and then started a new message,
Yeah,
then the thread is broken.
the thread's broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we keep it going, because I do have people that they truncate out everything. It's all gone. The rest, that whole communication. Which for me too, the one thing I like to do is I like to delete, because they all pile up. But if I can continue, if the conversation continues, if it's just one person, right? If we keep going back and forth, when you have 3 or 4 people, it's just too much. It's too much to try to keep track of.
When you have 3 or 4 people, maybe you shouldn't be communicating by email.
True. True.
It gets too confusing.
So what do you recommend? Conference call?
Maybe a conference call, or maybe IM, where there's instant back and forth.
Right. Yeah. So
Remember, email is one-way communication, as opposed to IMing, as opposed to a phone call. It is one-way communication. You put it out there, and you don't know when that person is going to read it. Not everybody reads email the moment you send it to them. Some
Right.
people may not read it for a day. They may be traveling.
Right. Right. Which in that case, you hope that they've sent a message that will kick back and tell you,
Yeah.
I won't be in the office for a week, or I'll be checking my messages, but not as frequent as I normally do.
Exactly.
Bill, you have a hierarchy
Oh, sure,
of
yeah.
communication. So how does that?
Yeah. I mean, you've got your IM, and then you have your email, and you have your phone call. If you IM, of course, is like the instant message. And which is great if you have if you can put your entire message in the subject line of an email without having to type anything in your email, then maybe you should be IMing if the other person prefers to IM that way as well.
Again, that's very generational.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
And
how
you
about
have,
texting?
you have to know your audience.
Right, the whole texting thing. I mean, I see kids, well, not even kids, but I mean, they're adults too. I mean, I'm a little on the older side relative to texting. And so I see people, they're firing away, their thumbs are going a mile a minute. And for me, why? Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Call me.
Yeah.
Isn't that easier? I think it is. But everybody says, no, this is faster.
Although those younger generation, I admit to I'm of the older generation a little bit, but they're also texting about 3, 4, 5 people at once, or holding several conversations at one time. So that's why they're saying that it's.
You have to know what technology is appropriate for your message.
Right.
There is not a one-size-fits-all.
That is true. Yeah, it's not one size fits all. So what about so Facebook then? Facebook will do the same type of thing. You can instant message when you're Facebooking, and of course that. Do you use Facebook for business?
I do use Facebook for business. Yeah.
Yeah. I do too. I do now, which I hadn't in the past. And somebody had said to me, "I use it all the time." I'm like, "You do? How? How does that? How does that work? How do you do it?" But I guess now as a result, though, I have fan pages and things that are appropriate to me and my business and what I'm doing. And so as a result, then that's what happens. People start replying. Are you on Facebook?
I am on Facebook. I don't like it. And one of the reasons I don't like it, I set up a business account and I set up a personal account. And even people on my business account send out junk. I had someone send me, one of my colleagues send something out, something, I have strep throat, my wife thinks I sound sexy. Do I need to read that?
Like you care, right?
Right.
I find that LinkedIn for professionals is
Yes.
a very, very good social networking tool.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do too. I think it bridges that gap.
Yes.
That keeps it on that professional level.
Yes.
Nobody's telling me that they're baking a loaf of bread. I could care less, right?
Exactly.
So-
Where Facebook has a lot of things that are just,
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show, Cheryl Lindsell-Roberts, Bill Bowman. And if you want to learn more, go to the website www.reverbnetwork.com.